Okay, so this is bound to be coming. This is the Mass Effect Andromeda review. Now, I did get Mass Effect Andromeda about
First explorers
a
to the
week and a
Citadel.
half ago,
You?
or whenever I got
Solarian
it the day it came
scientist
out.
who invented the genophage.
But
Of course, after dinner, I'd have to snap
I
his
have
neck and
seen
change
continuously
history.
more
Then
and
you
more
probably wouldn't be here, or maybe ever been born.
average to
Still,
bad
probably worth
reviews,
it.
and it baffles me to see this because people continuously keep shitting on the game, when in reality, Mass Effect Andromeda is actually not that bad of a game. I will go over the strengths, the weaknesses, and I'll give you my overall grade of the game. I didn't do a walkthrough of the game, so this is just me during a side quest during the game, so we'll begin now. Here it is, the Mass Effect Andromeda review. Now, despite all the ratings this has gotten, Mass Effect Andromeda actually does have quite a few pros. Now, we'll get a little deeper into character development later, but as for the overall story was fairly good. I really did enjoy it. I thought the story was pretty good. The final boss we'll also get into later, and yes, right now, I'm warning you now, spoilers. Before we get into everything deep, spoilers. Spoilers are ahead. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. So, overall, the story is very good. You play the role as the Pathfinder, and you have to basically find a place to live with for humanity and all the other alien species that come with you, the Asari, Turians, and Solarians. Now, story isn't too long, but there's a lot of side stuff you have to do. I am about 97% completed with the game. I put about 53 hours into the game. So, personally, I actually kind of blew through the game a little bit. As I have played the past 3 games in the entry, and I know for a fact that I probably blew through the game and I rushed, especially during the end, because I wanted to see the ending so bad. So don't take my playthrough count as something of a comparison, because I kind of blew through the game as fast as I could. Now, I did complete a lot of the side quests, which that's why it did take me so long in some parts. I went pretty slow with the side quest missions because I was really interested, and I ended up skipping a lot of the
Let's report back to Christmas.
additional tasks because they tend to get tedious. But we'll get into that later. But the story mode is very good, and you end up having to fight a boss called the Archon, sorry. And overall, I believe the story is very good. It isn't as deep as one would like to call it, but it's complex. You have to find your way home for humanity and every other alien species, and it's not going to be easy. It's not hard, or it's not going to be something that's a simple task. It's a lot to do, and I've seen some complaints that the game just has too much side quests and that you get delayed because you have to do so many side quests or loyalty missions to do, and it distracts you from the actual main story. Well, I've never heard someone actually complain about too much content. I mean, isn't that what we want in a game necessarily? I mean, I guess you don't want it if the game's going to be overall bad and the side quests are going to be boring or repetitive, but this game tends to does not have that. Now, there is some tendency for repetitive additional tasks, which is a whole different category, which is more or less searching for things, which that's what gets repeated. But I thought the loyalty quests and the main story quests and all the other Helios missions or whatever planet you're on or Nexus missions you're on were all very, very good. I really did enjoy them. Now, also with character development, I thought most of the characters are really good. I really enjoyed all of them, especially Drac. I really enjoyed his storyline and his loyalty quest. I thought Drac was one of the best characters and companions to have. Vetra was also very good, and I enjoyed Cora a lot. And then I'm trying to think of all the companions right now. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. I just played this game, like literally like minutes before I do this review. And Jaws. Now, the only one I thought could have been better, but was still good, was Peebees, and I still really enjoyed Peebees. And one that I really could have thought could have been better, was Liam's. Overall, I thought the game was great, though. Graphics were really good. I mean, I really enjoy the Frostbite engine. I like the graphics on it. There are some glitches and bugs that's expected with the new game, especially nowadays at least. I kind of just expect it at this point. I guess we'll just hop into the cons. Probably a lot more cons than there are good, but pros lift the cons to make it not as bad. We'll just get into that now. Alright, so the cons in this game aren't as bad as you like to think. They're basically more small things in my opinion. Except for a few, I should add. Most of them are small. Most of the problems I found were small. Faces were the biggest problem I found, and I do agree with the fact that faces are a big problem. I thought they ended up fixing it, but faces either look old or they just look awkward, and especially with the eyes, but they actually did fix the eyes, so that was good. But that was a minor thing. I mean, it really doesn't stop the story dead. It's not like you're gonna be so distracted. You're like, oh, I can't play this game. The graphics are so horrible. It's like, if you ever played a game from 2004, you can't really complain because of where we are now. So, another con I would find is probably, out of all the characters, Liam is probably the weakest. I personally thought he's not as good as he could have been. I guess what's wrong with some of the cons are pretty bad. Like, I don't know if this is necessarily as bad of a con, but this one personally bugged me a lot. The lacking of Quarians and any other Milky Way aliens. Now, I've granted, I know for a fact that, people are going to bring up that in the end game, you find out that the Quarian transmission, there's a Quarian transmission that the Quarian arc is still there, but there is never any mention of a Quarian arc in the beginning of the game, and that's what personally bugs me. I feel like we're missing Quarians, we're just missing, I'm drawing a blank, but Quarian is like the first that comes to mind because you had a Quarian partner in the previous trilogy, or a Quarian companion, and now it doesn't, again, it's not something that stops the story dead. I didn't really think about it much playing the game, but I ended up kind of like, every now and then, like, wow, I kind of missed out the aliens. I wouldn't say Cartarians, I think Cartarians are so, I don't know. But, or Bartarians? I don't even know. Screw it, I'm done. But, yeah, it's not like it stops the story dead, but it's something small that personally bugs me. Another thing, I thought there's a little bit of a reliance on the jetpack / thruster. Now, don't get me wrong, it comes in handy a lot, especially in combat, as you can see, but I thought there's a bit of reliance with it. I thought it could have done a little bit less platforming. So, that is another thing that I got really annoyed with. And I guess the very end, I thought, as difficult as the final battle was, I felt like it could have been a bit more challenging. I would have personally liked to fight the Archon, and I believe that would have been a little bit better than just say, oh, well, screw it, we'll just kind of, like, it's just a tough battle, and they just continuously throw enemies at you. I thought it could have been, like, actually me fighting the Archon. No, I personally thought that the Architect battle with, or the Architect, well, if the Architect battle on Vold was a lot harder than this, because you had to deal with harsh temperatures, along with all the bots, all the remnant he keeps spawning, as well as the Architect itself. I believe that was harder than the final boss. But then again, I was a high level going into the final boss, and when I first read the Architect, I was a low level. And like right now I'm level 60, or about to level 60. This Architect battle I am. So yeah, those are all the cons I can personally come up with right now. I guess the overall score I would give this game. Oh, almost forgot. One thing I also got really annoyed with is I wish they kind of picked something up in Dragon Age Inquisition, where they made your big decisions, some decisions you had to make, right? Like you didn't have much, or at least some decisions you didn't have time to prepare for, or look up, or maybe even kind of cheat and Google it, because that rushes the whole aspect. It makes it like more, oh shit, I gotta make a decision now and kind of live with the consequences. You gotta think fast. I wish it did stuff like that. I really do. I don't know why I'm avoiding right now. Overall, I give the game 8.5, and that is not me being biased. I've played all 3 Mass Effect games, and personally, I believe that this is a very good entry. I thought it was better than 3. Not as good as 2. I really like 2, but it was better than 3, and it was. I personally believe that's better than 1, 2, because I didn't like the 1 that much. 2 is my favorite though. It's probably like 1 Andromeda, or it's my favorite. Probably go 2 Andromeda, 1 3. That's probably my order. I don't care what you have to say about that. But I forgot to mention it, but the Angara are really cool species that you get to that get introduced into the game, and then overall, this game is a lot of fun. It's not something that you kind of cringe at or when you play it. I had a lot of fun playing this. I really enjoyed it. It has replayability. You know, you have multiple different kinds of characters you can play as, and I'm really, really excited to get more into it. And I'm really excited for the DLC. They did tease the DLC with the Primus, and they did tease stuff with the Quarian Arc. So I'm really interested to see what they have up next. And personally, I believe that if you want a good Mass Effect game, or if you want a good game in general, to play it. And this is my honest review, and I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys around. I hope you guys, if you want more like this, please like and subscribe. Deuces.